Hi, my name's Phil, and I'm going to show you how you can use chalk to make really powerful visual learning resources quickly. Um, so for this example, I'm going to put in two paragraphs about photosynthesis. So this is two paragraphs about how photosynthesis works, and I'm going to generate a graphic organizer to begin with. So graphic organizer essentially encompasses a few different um, kind of like word diagrams that you can use for teaching kind of like complex topics. So I'm going to put it on full screen mode so we can edit the diagram more easily. But as you can see, it's created this word diagram. I might think, okay, this is actually too complex, so I can reduce the detail level so that it's a little bit simpler, and I can actually reduce it back down to its most simplest level as well. Um, but let's say that I decide, okay, I can also ramp it up to more complex diagrams as well. But let's say that I want to reduce the detail level to the middle one, to level 3. So I can edit this diagram a few different ways. So firstly, I can hide the node labels, and I can give this to my students as a worksheet so that they can work out which node goes where. Additionally, I can actually add icons into the diagram to give them a bit more support. Um, so just one other feature is that I can actually put it on trace mode. So if I want to use this on the board and actually draw it out myself, but I need some support, I can put it on trace mode. And as you can see, these are really, really like high definition diagrams because they're vector based. So that means they render at really high quality. So I can just copy this as a PNG, or I can export it as well. Another thing to mention is I can edit the colors. For example, I can make this red. I can make the text large, and I can kind of like move the move the elements around as well. Okay, so that's one example. That's a graphic organizer in terms of a flowchart. But I can also flick to Venn diagram if I think that's more useful. And here you see the inputs and the outputs. I can also flick to grid. So this has two different axes, input to output and direct energy rel to support function, and it's place the different items in my text onto those axes. These probably aren't as useful for this particular use case, but it depends on the type of content that you're putting in. Another feature that I can create, or another resource I can create, is an icon story. So I can really quickly visualize this learning content using icons. So here are some icons I can use to visualize this content. I can also use high accessibility icons. So these are created especially for students with educational needs. Um, and what is nice about this is that I can export these in many different ways. So for example, let's say that I decide these are the different icons I want to use. I can edit the text, and then I can export these in a number of different ways. So I can simply just print this storyboard if I want to print. I can also create an interactive worksheet. So this allows the students um, to place the items on the board, and if they get it right, then they'll see the text pop up. I can also export this as an audio slideshow. This provides a narrative overlay um, to the images. So that means that the students can just look at the images and hear the narrative playing. And then I can also export to Google Slides. Additionally, I can just copy them on and paste them into a worksheet. So we think these are a really powerful set of tools to quickly make visual learning resources for students that are both inclusive but also challenging. So it's like high support, high challenge visual learning resources. Thank you so much.